The most boring part about success, whatever you consider success, is having to do the same thing over and over and over again. For those of you guys who are new here, hello, my name is Jasmine, and I'm so glad to have you. And in this video, I just want to talk about the importance of repetition, consistency, and not giving up, okay? Listen, I have accomplished a lot of amazing things. I'm 35 years old. I lost 100 pounds. I started a six-figure online business. I graduated from college, even though I don't even know where my bachelor's degree is anymore. I bought a house. Like, I've done so many things, okay? I'm very proud of myself and the things that I've accomplished. But every single thing that I've accomplished required me to be consistent and to stick with that thing long, over and over and over and over again, every single day until I got to the finish line. So many people are unwilling to do that. You might be one of them. Maybe you've been someone who started college, dropped out, then you decide to go to another school, dropped out of that, then you're going to switch up degree programs, you dropped out of that. You don't know how to just stick to something over and over and over again. It's going to be boring. I don't know how many more videos I can make about how boring consistency is. Okay, it is boring. When I bought my house, I had to save up $13,000. And when I did that, that's the most money I had ever saved up in my entire life. Okay, I had never had that much money in my bank account at one time. This was back when I think I was like 26. Do you know how hard it was every time I got paid to put aside $500 or, $200 and to do that paycheck after paycheck after paycheck? And I wasn't making crazy amounts of money. Now, I did work a lot of overtime to get it done, but the point I'm making is, like, I had to do that for weeks. It took me about a year to save all of that. And I built my house, so I had some time to come up with it, but I had to do that every paycheck for weeks, 26 weeks to come up with that money. So many people can never just see something through. They start and they stop. Then they give up. They go back to the drawing board. They come up with another cool idea. They start that for a week. Then they give up on that. And it never gets anywhere because you can't just do the same thing over and over and over again for a very, very, very long time. Weight loss was the same way. It took me 18 months to lose 100 pounds. That's a year and a half, y'all. So for a year and a half, I had to eat less food. For a year and a half, I had to move my body. And I did that week after week after week. Some weeks I wouldn't lose any weight. I would get on that scale and the scale would say 0.2 pounds. Sometimes it would say I gained a pound. And despite all of that, I still had to keep going. People can't do it. People cannot do it. And it's crazy because in the world we live in, everyone's looking to be stimulated. And that's the crazy thing. In today's world, everyone's looking for their next dopamine hit. They just want a dose of excitement real quick. They want to be outraged. They want to be excited. They want to laugh. They want to feel good, right? But those emotions, that's the problem. Because consistency and getting to success, whatever that is for you, is going to be extremely boring. It takes repetition and more repetition, saying no to things over and over and over again to eventually get to where you want to go. Now, one thing I will say is I've always been an ambitious person. People say you either have ambition or you don't. I don't know how true that is because I've always had ambition. I personally cannot imagine being someone who has no drive. I don't know if that's you, where you don't have any go. There's nothing that just lights a fire under you and you just go full throttle. I personally can't understand that. If that is something that you're struggling with, I would imagine that maybe the thing that you're trying to work on, but you haven't done it, it's not really something that you want to do. That's the only, and I thought about this for a while, just trying to understand why people are not motivated. You know what I mean? Like, why are people lazy? And the only thing I could think of is it's just not something that you really want to do. There would be classes in school that were not my most favorite classes, right? And so those particular classes, I would be lazier at that class, right? Because I just had no interest in it. It was just kind of like, oh my God, like, why are they making us learn this? What does this have to do with anything, right? And I would find myself, procrastinating, doing the work for that class. Sometimes I wouldn't even go to that class because I just didn't have any interest in that class, right? But because I had interest in obtaining the degree that I was working towards, I just sucked it up and did it. But those would be the only times in which I didn't feel motivated or when I felt lazy to do something. And that was because I just didn't have any interest in that thing. And so I would imagine that if you are struggling with procrastinating, if you are struggling with moving forward, I want you to ask yourself, is it really something that you want to do, or is it just something that you say you want to do because it sounds cool or you're trying to impress somebody else? Because those are two totally different things, right? But I really believe that if it's something that you really want to do, you're not going to procrastinate. You know what I mean? Same with weight loss. I had yo-yo dieted for years. I had needed to lose 100 pounds way before I finally did it. And I would procrastinate. I would say Monday, next week. But in the grand scheme of things, I just really didn't want to lose weight. The idea was cool, right? Like thinking about how sexy I would look in a bodycon dress, or thinking about how sexy I would look in a two-piece. Yeah, like the idea of weight loss sounded great, right? It sounded amazing. But in all honesty, I just didn't really want to lose weight at that time. Most people, you're not going to change until the pain of change outweighs the pain of staying the same. And I know I've said in another video, until you get fed up, like until you hit like rock bottom, whatever rock bottom is for you, most of the time you're just not going to change. There's nothing forcing you to change, right? If you have a team of enablers around you who give you money when you need it, who tell you that you're good the way you are, you don't have to lose no weight. If you have people around you enabling the behavior that you claim you want to change, then you're not really going to change it because it's not really affecting your day-to-day, right? But if you no longer have people around you, let's say you do want to lose weight, and you no longer have people around you trying to make you feel good in the body that you're in, even though you know damn well you need to lose weight, well, then you're probably going to be more likely to lose weight because now you don't have anyone making you feel good about the fact that you are eating yourself to death. That's just the truth, right? You just might not want it at this moment. Again, the idea sounds great, but it's not your number one priority right now. And sometimes, unfortunately, we don't get that push until something really, really, really bad happens, right? I had been wanting to quit my job for a very long time. And I told you guys about that before. I hated my 9 to 5. I was miserable there. And I've been there for 6 years. So I had something forcing me out, right? I hated the way management spoke to me. I hated that I was always getting written up for something, right? I hated how unfairly I was treated there, right? So I had something forcing me to figure out how to get out of there. And so that's how I got on OnlyFans. But if you're comfortable at your job, maybe they don't mess with you for real, right? Maybe you do just enough to stay out of management's office, right? Maybe you get your annual raise, whatever that is, your market raise, whatever. Maybe they give you days off when you request. They don't give you a hard time. They're not pressing you. They're not micromanaging you. Okay, well then you don't really have a reason to start a business right now. The idea sounds great, right? It sounds exciting. It sounds like an amazing thing to do. But at the end of the day, you just don't have anything forcing you to get it done right now. And that's why you're not. That's why you're procrastinating, because you're cool, calm, and collected where you're at. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being content with the life that you live. It's better to be content than miserable, right? But until you figure out why you want to do what you want to do, you're going to always push things off. And again, in order to get to that level of success, and whatever success means to you, whether it's losing weight, fixing your credit, going back to school, whatever it is, it's going to be boring. It's not always a thrill, okay? You will hit milestones. Yes, you'll hit, milestones and things that you're excited about. I remember when I got my first 10,000 followers on Instagram. That was an exciting time for me. I remember when I made my first $1,000 on my business. That was exciting for me. I remember when my YouTube channel got monetized. That was exciting for me, right? You're going to have milestones along the journey that are going to make things exciting and you're going to want to celebrate it. But most days, it's the same thing. Get up, do what you got to do, sleep, repeat. For weeks, for months, for years. Okay? So if you truly want that thing, just know that the path to it is boring. It's fun, but it's boring. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. Also, you guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.